观众朋友们，大家好！我们再一次的相约这一集的对话领事。我们今天请到的嘉宾是意大利驻港总领事 Mr. Antonello de Thank you very much for coming over today and joining us for this program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
意大利满载着古罗马的辉煌历史，是千年文明的灿烂杰作。它几乎包揽了所有国家想拥有的元素：热情阳光的海边村落，恍若隔世；充满圆舞曲曼妙旋律的中世纪小城，带着文艺复兴的天际线，让人眼热心跳；温润浪漫的水城，踏上贡哥拉，让人想要邂逅最美的夕阳。游览与城市间，感受司空见惯的辉煌，徜徉在时尚编织的空间中，让时间像沙漏一般，慢慢把这文明世界的美景、美食消融下，一切都不可仓促。
We're going to talk about your country, Italy, which is a very attractive place. As we know that Italy might be the world's most celebrated travel destination in the world. And of course, the country actually does have it all. I mean, the most diverse and the most beautiful landscapes and the world's greatest like hoard of art treasures, and even the authentic and delicious national cuisine. According to the statistics, the Chinese tourists, there are like 538,000 Chinese tourists chose Italy in the year of 2013, which is last year, while another 425,000 picked France. So Italy seems to be their favorite travel destination in Europe. So why do you think the Chinese people have this Italian fever, and what do they love to see there?
I think, first of all, that the possibility of Chinese people to travel to Italy has been provided by a strong commitment of our government that increased the possibility of having the visa. This is the first requirement. Secondly, I think that in the choosing Italy, the Chinese citizens, they like the variety, the huge, wide variety of offer, because in Italy they can find a city of arts, exhibition, museums with a cultural heritage, immense cultural heritage that Italy owns, but also pristine waters and uncontaminated beaches, mountain resorts, and lakes. So there is also a countryside that has been chosen by the UK family. So I think that is a summa of ingredients, if we can say, that matches perfectly with Chinese people that belong to a country that is a very it's a wide offer of everything. I guess that also this similarity, whether our countries are so distant that can match it. At the same time, fashion, obviously, as you mentioned before,
luxury products.
And luxury products is something that always attracts every human being, obviously, and even Chinese people that attach great importance to the beauty. They are fascinated by these high brands. I can say also that there is a new trend among the Chinese tourists to Italy. They choose also some particular products, handicraft products, clothes, shoes. That has been, there are some families in Italy that they provide since centuries. They follow a tradition in the building and making and tailoring. Then last but not least, I cannot mention food. I think that even in the imaginary of every Chinese person, panna cotta, tiramisù, pasta bolognese, pasta pesto, pizza, caffè, cappuccino, they are international terms that has been also borrowed by international chains everywhere in US. Or,
very popular even in Hong Kong.
Very popular, but these belong to the cultural heritage of daily life Italian people.
As we were talking about what Italy can offer, it seems like Italy can offer everything, not just the sightseeing, but also like the shopping and the food experiences. And we're talking about the Chinese people are having Italian fever, but not by terms of the numbers, but also by the spending. We know that China has become the top market in the world for outbound tourism spendings, overcoming the United States and Germany. As you said, that Italy has already become like the top one desirable travel destination for Chinese tourists already, but with all the encouraging like incentives or the policy, the visa policies, that it seems that Italy is welcoming as many Chinese as possible. As we know, that more offices have been opened to process the visa, the tourism visa and the other types. But with the high influx of Chinese tourists, do you think that Italy can fully accommodate them?
This is a big challenge that has been underlined also during the visit, the very important visit that Italian authorities made to China recently and Chinese authorities made to Italy. How to, because it's important to provide the possibility to go to Italy with a visa, and at this regard I can say that recently we opened the consulate in Chongqing. So now in China we have part of Beijing where there is the embassy, there is also Shanghai, Canton, Chongqing and Hong Kong. But also the possibility for the Chinese people to be welcomed and to find over there in Italy people that speaks also the Chinese language, that they know their culture. I have to say that now in many luxury retail shops in Italy and in the main duty-free of the airport, Italian airport, now there is an increasing staffing of people that speak Mandarin.
Right. Speaking of traveling in Italy, I have always been curious about something that we know that Italy is the birthplace of the world's most, finest works of arts, including like fashion. Fashion plays a very important role in the Italy's society, such as like Milan. Milan is the fashion capital of Italy, reigning with Paris and New York at the three top fashion centers in the world. And we also know that Italy actually produces some of the most prestigious cars in the world, including like Lamborghini or Ferrari. So it's looking good, a key aspect of the Italian culture.
I have to say that probably Italy, this particular characteristic of creating products, ideating products that fascinates people all around the world, depends also from historical data. Italy is, and the Italians are surrounded by cultural heritage, by monuments that not only witness the importance of the past, but they gave also the message of the beauty, the beauty of art. I think that this is the first humus, the fertile land through which the Italian people, they grow up, and this is they grow up with this sense of beauty and aesthetics. It's evident Italians, they like to dress well, but at the same time they like also to have very special products. That's the case of luxury cars that are in the dream of all people all around the world, like, as you mentioned before, the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, the Maserati. And I can say that in China now they are appreciating a lot, and there is an increasing number. It's one of the biggest markets for Italy with these kind of products.
欧洲文艺复兴时期开始于意大利。而意大利的绘画、雕塑、建筑、科学、文学和音乐，则是整个欧洲的核心。意大利拥有世界上最伟大艺术品的半数。从巴罗克时期到浪漫主义时期，意大利的文化继续于欧洲保持领先地位，直至今天。时尚和设计无疑具有国际领先地位。歌剧和音乐闻名于世的，就连意大利料理和食品 通常被认为是世界上最受欢迎的文化之一。
Speaking of the Italian culture, there's just so much to go on about. As we know that Italy is the home to many of the most well-known, influential civilizations in the world, and it's the birthplace of many of the world's finest works of art. So why do you think the country is so prominent in art?
It's as I mentioned before, it's the history of the country, our particular history, because it has been a crossroad of many civilizations. We experienced civilization like the Roman Empire, but also many invasion of different peoples that they brought also their richness, cultural richness. So Italy, from this point of view, is a sort of a synthesis of these people that was, and through this is rooted its culture. I have to say that according to our culture, we gave the birth to many prominent artists, poets, scientists all around the centuries. Just to tell you, Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo, Donatello, during the 16th and 17th century, and then even going to the most recent times like Enrico Fermi, Meucci, the inventor of atomic energy for pacific purposes, and the inventor of the telephone. So this testifies this prominence of Italy towards the arts and the excellences.
As you said, that Italy has a various civilizations and it actually has a huge cultural heritage. How the great culture of the past is reflected in today's society and everyday life of Italy.
Yes, Italy owns one of the most important amount of cultural heritage that has been censored by the UNESCO, 50 on 962. So it's a premiership that Italy has, that is very obviously very proud of this. At the same time, we have to say that Italy didn't stop to its past. It's a country that looks forward, and we have to say that even today, Italian language is the fourth most studied language.
Study or popular used languages in the world.
Yes, and it gives not only for culture and art, it's important also for these two particular items, but also for the in the business, for the design, all industrial design, interior design. This is a language that can be helpful to the people, to young people that can go, that they want to follow this road, how can we say, of this career. I have to say also that Italy has hosts also prominent universities, Bocconi, the Marangoni Institute of Design, and European Institute of Design, that many Chinese people, Chinese students, they go to study, because they know that when we want to talk about design, many people they decided to come to our country.
好，欢迎回来！您现在收看到的是对话领事，我是主持人雅乔。那么今天非常荣幸的请到的是意大利驻港总领事 Mr. Antonello De Lu 先生。
意大利驻港总领事 Antonello 7月就职，对于香港似乎还不太熟悉的他，却深知如何让意大利在香港大有作为。虽是初来乍到，可 Antonello 在外交界已经有着20年的经验。作为一个典型的意大利人，他谈吐幽默、风趣，充满着自由的韵味，却又很懂得掌握外交事务的核心。
So we see that before you came to Hong Kong, you were assigned as a deputy head of mission. So how's that different? What's the definition of the job description, comparing to being a consul general in Hong Kong?
I've been assigned to Tunisia for 4.5 years. and I was a deputy, as you mentioned, I was a deputy of mission, so I was taking care of all the aspects. A deputy, generally, in an embassy, takes care of all the stuff, all the problems. Yeah, I was a problem solver. But at the same time, I have to say that has been a great experience, even because during my tenure over there, from 2010 to 2014, I experienced the so-called Arab Spring, the revolution that hosted the ancient dictator, the President Ben Ali, and so the new democratic regime has been established over there. And this has been for sure the most interesting experience in my professional life, but also for the Tunisian people after the independence in 1955 has been the most important thing.
20-year experiences giving you an ability of problem solving and able to, living in everywhere in the world, including Hong Kong, right? But we know that you took office in Hong Kong July this year. So far it's pretty just a couple of months, it's pretty new to you. So how's Hong Kong so far and what are the challenges?
Yes, obviously I'm a newcomer, so I have to learn a lot about Hong Kong. At the same time, I can say that I feel immediately in my function very well. I've been welcomed in an excellent way, and my aim is to promote, obviously I will focus more on being a Consul General, on the business sector and the cultural sector. I would like, during my tenure, I would like to enhance the possibility of investments, first of all, between the Hong Kong and Italy, so to raise the importance and the investment and the economic collaboration, and at the same time, through our cultural activity of our cultural institute, give the possibility to the Chinese people to know better about our country, my country.
That is your big plan for Italy and Hong Kong.
Yes, it's a big challenge.
意大利经济自二战以来发生了巨大的变化，由一个以农业为主的经济发展为一个先进工业国。作为世界上较大的经济体之一，意大利经济总体保持较为稳定的状态。近年来，意大利面临经济成长低迷和国际竞争力下降的问题，尤其在今天，意大利的经济增长预期更低。新总理伦齐上任后，宣布一些经济刺激措施，是要破釜沉舟，打破经济僵局，和中国的互访密切，两国的战略合作关系上了新的台阶。
Italy's economy is the 8th largest in the world and the 3rd largest in the Eurozone, and it has been a stable economy relatively over time. However, it is reported that Italy is actually facing an economy shrinkage. And your new Prime Minister, Mr. Renzi, who came to power in February this year, has promised to revive and reform the economy. So how has the reform done so far, and what are the challenges?
As you mentioned, the problem is a general problem in Europe, in the
whole world
Eurozone.
is facing that.
Unfortunately, it is not of this part of the world. Now, all the governments are trying to make their best in order to solve a structural problem. And also, our Prime Minister Renzi is trying to boost and to deliver some economic reforms, structural reform, on the fiscal side, on the labor market, in order to recover the Italian economy. However, I have to say that notwithstanding the negative outlook, Italy is performing an excellent record on the export. As you know, Italian economy is based on the export, and through their channel, especially of small and medium enterprises, has been able to export more than 17 billion of euro of surplus in foreign trade, and it is on the clothes, textile. So I have to say that we cannot deny the economic difficulty of the Italian economy, but at the same time there are signs that makes us much more optimistic for the future.
Yes, Italy is an exporter, and so is China. China and Italy are definitely focusing on enhancing like the trade effort. And in the meantime, in terms of import, China is one of Italy's main trading partners. And your Prime Minister, Mr. Renzi, who actually linked 10 trading agreements with China during his visit in Beijing this year. And at the meantime, he said its achievement, which will lead to a new road to China and Italy. Following his visit, there's another very, very significant trip followed by Mr. Premier Li Keqiang of People's Republic of China when he visited Italy, which just happened recently. He also said that the two countries need to enhance some effort together. So what do you think this new road will lead to the future of China and Italy altogether?
I guess that as the two leaders stressed in their respective visits to China and to Italy, there is still room to enhance our relations. Italy shares with China a very important foreign trade of 33 billion euro. And at the same time with Hong Kong, Italy shares 10.8 billion of US dollars. So they are an important amount of that shows the relevance of our economic relations. But these visits, the recent visits in China and in Italy, wants the leaders, the Chinese leaders and Italian leaders, want to enhance also the further dimension of the economic cooperation, not only on the trade based on the trade, but also on the investment sector. For this item, I have to say that Italy is working a lot, and the first results are very, very important, even because the Chinese are very keen to invest in Italy, and they took important shares of very relevant companies in Italy already. Then there is also the possibility of enhancing our cultural relations, political ones, where there are several aspects to which we can definitely ameliorate. From this point of view, the idea of the new maritime Silk Road announced by the President of China is I think is strategic because it matches perfectly with the expectation of the two countries to enhance their economic
This is like
relations.
a dimensional.
It's a multidimensional. It's not only economy. Okay, it is important, but also culture and everything. So there are two countries, I think, Italy and China, that shares thousands of years of civilization. So there is also, can we say, mutual understanding also on the cultural side,
and
not only in the economy.
Yes, and the two countries definitely have the outstanding representatives of the Eastern and Western civilizations in the world, and probably we can see this effort the two countries have been putting in is definitely on the road. This road is to the future of the prosperity of the two countries for sure.
Yes,
Thank you very much for your time today and joining us for this program and tell us so much information about your country and yourself, Italy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.